my friend, he wanted me to play this game, so I downloaded it. This is the free, there's just a demo, so yeah. The paid version is out, and I'll probably get it later if I like this. He told me to go in blind, so I haven't actually played this game at all. Yeah, let's get into it. Kyle woke up. He is famous. That's cool. Kyle is host of the most popular talk show in recent memory, Stay Up Late with Kyle. Stay Up Late with Kyle has grown in popularity quickly in the last year, and the public has noticed. Inside has called Kyle a most excellent dumpy white man. Top Tech noted that Kyle is inspiring youth to explore STEM fields. Most other talk shows are dedicated to discussing Kyle and his personal details. Most online videos are best of clips taken from Kyle's latest broadcast. The eye of the world is upon Kyle. Tonight is Kyle's most important guest interview yet. Stay Up Late with Kyle will be featuring Rachel May. She is a kind and lovely philanthropist. She is dear to the hearts of many. This interview requires preparation. Kyle cracked his eyes open, knowing today is his last chance to prepare for the interview. Kyle has 30 hours left. He must choose his actions wisely. Kyle's first decision of the morning, it was made wisely. Kyle exited his bed and took a quick glance around his bedroom. Open the closet. Cabinet, sit at desk. Open the closet. Choose an outfit. Kyle decided to take some time to choose the perfect outfit, knowing how important appearance is. Kyle decided on a fashion-forward, casual style. He could barely see out of the goggles. Back to the room. Kyle returned to the center of the bedroom. Exit bedroom to hallway. Kyle walked into the small hallway that connected the rooms of his apartment together. Check locked door. Leave apartment. Move to kitchen. Move to kitchen. Kyle walked to the center of the kitchen. Open fridge. Kyle opened the fridge intending to find something to eat. Prepare breakfast. Kyle constructed a breakfast of poached eggs and toast along with a small fruit cup and grilled sausage. Eat. Kyle ate his breakfast slowly and thoughtfully, enjoying every bite. He felt refreshed. Gosh, was that the weirdest sound I've ever heard. Kyle walked to the center of the kitchen. Returned to hallway. Kyle walked in the small hallway that connected the rooms of his apartment together. Leave apartment. Kyle walked out into the middle of the road and took a long, pondering look around him. Kyle walked into the clean, white tech store. He was greeted by Techno Jim, an elaborate cutout mascot playing soft music from a small microphone. Kyle asked the store attendant whether or not they offered any free samples to important customers. The attendant gave Kyle a confused and slightly vacant look. Kyle began to beg for a free sample. Wanting Kyle to leave, the attendant grabbed a decrepit phone meant for spare parts and held it out. Kyle took the phone placently from the outstretched hand and said quietly, "Thanks for your service." Kyle now has this phone to use forevermore. Kyle walked out into the middle of the road, and took a long, pondering look around him. Kyle approached his downstairs neighbor's door and knocked. A middle-aged woman named Gabby answered the door. "Good morning, neighbor," said Kyle cheerfully. Gabby looked at Kyle expectantly. Gabby asked Kyle, "Tell me about yourself." Gabby stiffened. "Oh, you know," she said, putting on a fake smile. "I just sit around here." "Yes, I don't get around much. Never go out at night. I just stay here, right here," Gabby glared at Kyle. Convinced by Gabby's statement, Kyle bid her goodbye and returned to the street. Kyle walked out into the middle of the road and took a long, pondering look around him. Kyle walked in the small hallway that connected the rooms of his apartment together. Leave apartment. Kyle walked out to the middle of the road and took a long, pondering look around him. Okay, well, ... More. Kyle hurried to the set. Sitting across from his host chair was a glamorous woman with an air of genuinity. As Kyle approached her, Rachel looked up and smiled. Approached Rachel. "Good evening, Kyle," she said, looking him in the eyes. "I've been looking forward to being here." Kyle responded. Answered politely. "And I as well, Rachel," answered Kyle, extended his hand in greeting. You are a most welcome guest." Shake hands. After other mild exchange of pleasantries, Kyle and Rachel were prompted to take their places for the broadcast. A moment after seating, the studio lights brightened and the cameras clicked on. Start broadcast. "Good evening, everyone," said Kyle, looking at the camera. "Welcome back to Stay Up Late with Kyle," introduced Rachel. "Tonight I have the pleasure of interviewing the lovely Rachel May, who needs no more introduction." Kyle motioned to Rachel, who smiled and waved at the camera. "Hello, Kyle," she said. "I'm glad to be here." "Well, I'm sure we'll have a lot to discuss, so we might as well dive right in," said Kyle. "I'm very ready," said Rachel with a winning smile. In a shock, Kyle realized he had never bothered to prepare any notes for the interview. Knowing he had the eyes of millions upon him, Kyle came up with a solution quickly. Kyle slumped in his seat and played dead. "Kyle, what are you up to?" asked Rachel, still smiling. Kyle did not respond and hoped nobody would ask questions. "Kyle, why are you pretending to be dead?" asked Rachel. "I can see you breathing." Kyle held his breath. The producer whispered to Rachel over earpiece, "Give him a couple slaps across the face and see if he wakes up." Rachel got up from her chair, walked to Kyle, and slapped him firmly across the face. Rachel slapped Kyle continuously, trying to get him to stop play acting. Other members of the crew stepped into the frame to start slapping Kyle as well. Soon Kyle was lost in the amassment of people around him, all slapping his face with both hands. The slapping went on for many hours. Kyle did not wake up. Eventually, Kyle did not need to pretend to be unconscious. Okay. I'm gonna exit bed. Kyle exited his bed and took a quick glance around his room. Open the closet. Choose an outfit. Jeans. Back to the room. Sit at desk. Are you a mother? Kyle wrote down his last question. Kyle wiped his page of notes out of the notebook and got up from the desk. Back to desk. Back to room. Exit bedroom hallway. Move to kitchen. Open fridge. Prepare breakfast. Eat. Return to kitchen. Return to hallway. Check locked door. Kyle walked over to the strange door in the hallway, but found quickly that the door was locked from the inside. Forced the door with forehead. Back to hallway. Kyle walked into the small door. Oh, I still have the broken phone. Sit at desk. Wait, no, let's go back to room. Scavenge. Awesome.
What are you so happy about?
Huh. I heard Rachel May is going on a trip out of the country soon. Oh, girlfriend, tell me more. Well, what I will tell you is that every night I don a mask that looks like a bug and fight misdoers. There was a stunned silence, then a door opened and someone exited the neighbor's apartment. That's quite enough. Kyle hurried to the set. Sitting across from his host chair was a glamorous woman with an air of genuinity. As Kyle approached her, Rachel looked up and smiled. "Good evening, Kyle," she said, looking him in the eyes. "I've been looking forward to being here." Kyle responded. And I as well, Rachel, answered Kyle, extending his hand in greeting. You are a most welcome guest. After other mild exchanges of pleasantries, Kyle and Rachel were prompted to take their places for the broadcast. A moment after seating, the studio lights brightened and the cameras clicked on. Good evening, everyone, said Kyle, looking at the camera. Welcome back to Stay Up Late with Kyle. Tonight, I have the pleasure of interviewing the lovely Rachel May, who needs no more introduction. Kyle motioned to Rachel, who smiled and waved at the camera. Hello, Kyle, she said. I'm glad to be here. Well, I'm sure we'll have a lot to discuss, so we might as well dive right in, said Kyle. I'm very ready, said Rachel with a winning smile. Kyle produced the notes he had taken earlier. What are some... Are you a mother? Rachel, I and many others would love to know. Are you a mother? Kyle looked up from his notes. Well, being a single woman with a career, she answered, that's not something that has crossed my mind. Genuinely, Kyle. Very reasonable, indeed, said Kyle. He referenced his paper for questions. What's your funniest story? You've been involved in a lot of different things, said Kyle. But what's your funniest story? Well, that's a great question, Kyle, said Rachel. I think the story I always remember is the first time I tried to make dinner for my family. In the soup I made, I swapped out the water with milk and tipped the whole jar of salt in the pot. While my family was sick from trying to eat it, I swiped their things and locked myself in my room. Rachel laughed elegantly. Kyle decided to move on. What are some diet tips? Rachel, you managed to keep such a thin and healthy figure, said Kyle. What is your best diet tip? Well, a good diet starts with a plan, answered Rachel, and don't break it. Cheat days can turn into a habit. But, she continued, that doesn't mean a midnight snack here and there isn't allowed. Kyle looked at his flabby self, decided not to comment, and moved on. Kyle asked another question. What's your guilty pleasure? We all have one. What's your guilty pleasure? Oh, well, that's an easy answer, said Rachel, dipping pickles in chocolate sauce. It might sound strange, but it's tangy and sweet at the same time. I eat it far too often, Rachel smiled sweetly. After reading his final question, Kyle looked up from his paper. Well, Rachel, he said, I think that's all I was planning on asking you. If that's the case, Kyle, may I ask you something in return? Asked Rachel, smiling one more time. Why exactly did you decide to wear swimming goggles today? Before Kyle could answer, the camera shut down. The broadcast was over. Kyle returned home knowing the interview had gone well. But as he lay in bed and drifted to sleep, he felt that perhaps something was still missing. Ooh, more world options. Kyle prepared very well. I'm very glad to hear that. Endings. Oh my gosh. Okay, so those require the key, I think. That's so weird. There's 117. Oh my gosh. It's gonna take so long. Custom stories. Full version. That's so weird. Okay, unlocks. Cursor. Not in a demo. Backgrounds. Trails. Cool. This is a really cool game. Well, let's start again. Kyle's first decision of the morning was made wisely. Browse social media. Kyle started to scroll through new articles on his phone. Stay Up Late with Kyle ranked #1 and #2 show on television. New East Bridge being constructed after being found to not actually exist. Authorities investigating. Another grand larceny, I don't actually know that word, in crime spree streak. Evidence points to perpetrator fleeing the country. Does that mean Rachel is a criminal? Rachel May to unexpectedly leave the country on very, very long vacation after interview tonight. Who is the bug vigilante? Recently spotted pursuing larcenists. Okay. Kyle fails to show up to several charity events. Bug vigilante shows up to charity events with fresh baked pastries. Donations flourish. Hot dogs making resurgence as fuel source for both humans and tugboats. Phone model recalled Techno Gym stores blame overuse by customers. Tuh. Kyle's phone exploded in his hands from overuse. Open the closet. Kyle knelt down and inspected the the old rusty container that had been in his closet for ages. It was locked but had a blade-shaped slot on the top. Kyle returned to the center of the bedroom. Open the closet. Choose an outfit. Skunk pasties. I want to go with a suit of armor. Kyle was unsure of what exactly caused him to decide to wear this armor, but it felt like the right thing to do. After much squeezing and sweating, Kyle managed to wrap the metal suit around his dumpy self. Kyle returned to the center of the bedroom. Write notes. Is your mother a mother? Beef mashed or blended? What's your funniest story? Are you guilty? Kyle ripped his page of notes out. Back to the desk. Kyle made his way over to the desk and sat down. Checking desk drawer. Sorted change. CDs. Small key. Small key. Back to desk. Back to room. Oh, well, I guess that's it. Kyle hurried to the set. Sitting across from his host's chair was a glamorous woman with an air of genuinity. As Kyle approached her, Rachel looked up and smiled. Good evening, Kyle, she said, looking him in the eyes. I've been looking forward to be here. Kyle responded. He answered politely. And I as well, Rachel answered Kyle, extending his hand in greeting. You are most welcome guest. After other the cameras, good ag is still late Kyle. Who needs no more introduction? However, said Kyle, suddenly dropping his voice, Rachel May is not sitting next to me. She is not new to this show. She did not walk in before me. In fact, said Kyle, I am Rachel May. Rachel looked at Kyle, confused, and silently mouthed the words, You are who? Kyle stood up quickly and threw his arms high above him, pointing upwards. I have never been Kyle, he proclaimed. I have never been the host of this show, Stay Up Late with Kyle. Kyle looked and pointed directly at the camera. I am here for but one reason, to interview myself. Kyle sat down in his chair and went to produce the notes he had taken earlier. Kyle read the first question on his list. Is your mother a mother? Kyle replied, No, because I am my mother. And, continued Kyle, I am your mother, and everyone's mother, and also Rachel and Kyle, and I am also your children, and that woman you met in the coffee shop yesterday, and your high school best friend, and I'm your friends, and I'm that person next to you, and I'm also you. Kyle waved his arms around, smiling. Nobody seemed to understand. It's a magic trick, shouted Kyle happily. I'm everyone now. Kyle got up and happily danced out of the studio, arms spread wide. Although not taken seriously at first, sociologists quickly found that Kyle's claims were true. Somehow, magically, Kyle became everyone and nobody else technically existed anymore. After a massive amount of study, it was found that Kyle had stumbled upon a very unexpected sociological loophole. Nobody really knew what to do with his newfound discovery, so they decided to do nothing. Kyle continued to be theoretically everyone and everybody else continued to be theoretically non-existent. It was a strange time to be alive. Well, that was funny. Answer politely, shake hands, start broadcast, introduce Rachel. I'm gonna collapse on the floor. From a combination of stressful preparation and not eating anything, Kyle had passed out. Nobody in the studio quite knew what to do with him. They began to poke Kyle on the back to see if he moved. After a while, they ended the broadcast, shut off the lights, and went home. Kyle was left face first on the floor. Okay, well, let's reset. Exit bed. Open closet. Choose an outfit. Armor. Master room. Sit at desk. Write notes. Is your mother a mother? Beef, master. What's your funniest story? Are you guilty? Back to desk. Check in drawer. Small key. Kyle made his way over to the desk and sat down. Back to room. Exit bedroom hallway. Go to kitchen. Open fridge. Prepare breakfast. Eat. Return to kitchen. Check pantry. We haven't done that yet. Unlock with small key. The pantry door lock creaked as if it hadn't moved for years, but eventually opened. Instead of an assortment of canned goods and grains, Kyle's pantry stored his massive amount of bottled lard. Okay. Check locked door. Back to hallway. Leave apartment. Okay. Kyle hurried to his set. Glamorous woman. Do. Good evening. Kyle responded, answered politely, shake hands, more, start broadcast, introduce, more. I'm glad to be here. Well, I'm sure we'll have a lot to discuss. I'm very ready, said Rachel with a winning smile. What's your funniest story? You've been involved in a lot of... Well, that's a great question, Kyle, sir. I think the story I always remember is the first time I tried to make dinner for my family. There's salt in the pot, room. Rachel laughed elegantly. Beef. A burning question from the fans, said Kyle. Beef. Do you prefer it mashed or blended? Rachel answered politely, mashed, and no more was said on the matter. Is your mother a mother? Said Kyle. My mother is a mother. My mother's mother is her mother, and my mother's mother. And many mothers have mother's mother. Mother's mother. Is your mother a mother? Rachel went to answer and stopped. I believe, she said eventually, that I should answer yes. Kyle asked another question. Are you guilty? Rachel, are you guilty? Kyle threw his question on the floor, stood up, and pointed at her. Rachel's eyes twitched slightly. Guilty of what, dear Kyle? She smiled disingenuously. Guilty, spat Kyle, of your crimes. Rachel did not answer. Her eyelids both started twitching uncontrollably. Hello, please. Rachel began to run towards the exit on her way. She was water Kyle's running hands. Kyle stepped down his leg. Rachel's helmet crashed to the floor, but in the moment she was on her feet. She pulled one weapon seemingly out of thin air and started to swing. Kyle had a chance to react when he burst through the roof and blocked Rachel's attack. It was a middle-aged woman in a bug-shaped mask. She was brandishing a bug-shaped stick. The woman began to fight with Rachel, flicking her weapon back and forth with surprising speed. Rachel tried to fight back, but it was obvious she was no match for the interceptor. With one quick move, the bug vigilante drew her foot high above her head and drove it straight into Rachel's hand. The weapon clattered to the floor. Rachel attempted to run again, but was met with a stick to her legs. She fell at the feet of the police officer just right from miles tall. Rachel was charged with 7 cases of grand larceny. After her first month in jail, Rachel started a reality TV show about prison cooking filmed from her cell. The show gained immense popularity, and somehow the public began to love Rachel all the more. Kyle made guest appearances on Rachel's shows many times. The identity of the bug vigilante was never known. She remained a mysterious but important part of local law enforcement. I'm gonna reset the interview. We know all this stuff. This, more, this, more, this, more, Are you guilty? More. After reading his final question, Kyle looked up from his paper. Well, Rachel, he said, I think that's all I was planning on asking you. If that's the case, Kyle, may I ask you something in return? I asked Rachel, smiling one more time. Why exactly did you decide to wear a suit of armor today? Before Kyle could answer, the camera shut down, the broadcast was over. Kyle returned home knowing the interview had gone well. But as he lay in bed and drifted to sleep, he felt that perhaps something was still missing. Kyle prepared very well. I want to go to main menu and see my endings. Kyle was everyone. Kyle conducted a good interview. Kyle pretended to die. Kyle had no food. Kyle got saved by the bug vigilante. 1 out of 5. There's 1 out of 5 Rachel's guilty endings. Okay, well, I've gotten 5 endings so far, and it has been about 30 minutes. So, yeah. If you enjoyed this, I'll probably play it again because it was actually quite fun. It's a really good game. I really enjoyed it. I do suggest going to check that out on Steam. It is just called Kyle is Famous. It's the free edition, though I would pay money for this game. It seems to be by these creators. But yeah, so that's the end of the game so far that I'm gonna play. And I hope you guys have a good night. See you next time.